So with his awareness out in the court, it's created a lot of opportunities for Riordan, for other guys to get easy buckets.
Guy that's real impressive on the football field as well as the other way. Simmons misses the shot. Rebound again cleared by the Crusaders. They have dominated the glass. Pump faking Ubaja. Another nice pass. Layup is there for Arenas, who's now up to 10 points. He's the game's leading scorer. And the Crusaders just continue to extend this lead. It's a 9-0 run for Riordan.
I'm beginning to love this Riordan team. They started defensively with their pressure, and then there's unselfishness on the offensive end, always looking for the open guy. They have great spacing, great movement, and result in easy buckets. And this game, unfortunately, for Moreau, is starting to get away from them.
We've spoke to both of these coaches last.
Each guy, I mean, Buckner has a good program going, obviously. He's got guys that don't seem to be too worried about the stat line. They're more interested in getting their teammates and their buddies good looks inside and open buckets.
And that's going to be important when you welcome in a lot of new players after the break. I'm sure the practices are very intense. In fact, Pat Segerson, who did a great job helping us out with the stats for Riordan, his longtime stat man, as the free throw is good for Hamid. Talk about how competitive those practices are. Again, those transfers will come back after the new year when Riordan plays SI on January 2nd to begin WCAL play. Here's a three-pointer in the corner. That is good and much needed from Brandon Lawrence. He's got 7 points. It was a 12-0 run before that three-pointer. Riordan seems to do a good job breaking the full-court pressure whenever Moreau gets a chance to apply that pressure. Now we've got a timeout by the Riordan bench with 3:53 to go until halftime, and the Crusaders up comfortably at 14 points. Their biggest lead was 17, and quite simply, they're moving the ball. They've got 7 different guys in the scoring column. Bobby Arenas leading the way with 10, but you've also got Graham Gilliran with 7. Jeru Mabry and Usman Hamid each have 5, and Christian Hernandez has 4. As for Moreau, Oscar Freyer's got 6 points, Brandon Lawrence has 7, and Armand Simmons with 4. Very young Moreau Catholic team, and they are coached by Frank Knight. In his 3rd season, he's won 34 games, lost 31. In his first year, he led Moreau to their only winning season in 8 years. So he has turned this program around, and you know, this team, they're already 8-3 this year. They're going to have a winning record this season, but the next few years are going to be really good, especially when these freshmen develop. They're now in the Mission Valley League, as they made that transfer to that league after playing the Hayward Area League for years. And on the rebound, on the missed shot, we've got a foul on Riordan. But Newark Memorial is the heavy favorite to win that Mission Valley, and James Logan's got a pretty solid team. Washington isn't bad, but Riordan Moreau Catholic should be in the mix there. Although Newark Memorial, a team that was a NorCal final runner-up, NorCal runner-up last year, is going to be the heavy favorite in that conference in the Mission Valley, as that was the 8th team foul on the Crusaders. 1-and-1 free throws, and the first one is good. Make 1 of 2. Masoli's got the rebound. That was Regner making one of those 2 foul shots. Riordan with that 13-point advantage at the Catholic School Winter Classic. Here's Masoli. Another nice pass. Layup again for Gilliran.
Now you can tell Masoli's the quarterback on the football team. He's not afraid to distribute the ball on the basketball court either.
And can fit it through tight windows as the Mariners turn it over an 11th time. Riordan, the first of 4 WCAL teams that will play today, so we're going to get a good look at half the conference as the layup is there for Masoli. Again, great ball movement. Masoli's got his first bucket.
Yeah, Riordan's really a fun team to watch. I'm having a great time watching their first half so far.
Errant pass, but tracked down by Simmons. The freshman working against the senior Mabry. Nearly another turnover. Lawrence gets it back, feeds it to Simmons for a 3. Rims out, rebound on the floor, picked up by Padronis. And a foul on Moreau. going to be their 8th team foul, so we'll see 1-and-1 free throws at the other end. 2:26 to go until halftime. The next game will be St. Francis versus St. Mary's Stockton, and then it will be St. Patrick's St. Vincent versus Sacred Heart Prep. Those teams have met in the NorCal playoffs each of the last 3 seasons. Sarah will play St. Joseph Notre Dame, and Midi and Salesian will play the final game of the day, and that is the heavily anticipated one, and we're going to see quite a few people come out for that game in particular, as Padronis makes the first free throw and the second one as well.
Yeah, it's 2 for 2 from the line there. He got his turnover, took it strong, got his foul, and got rewarded with 2 easy free throws.
Riordan making their free throws. They're a 71% free throw shooting team on the year. And a little bit too much reaching in there by Padronis is going to send the Mariners to the line.
Yeah, that was a foul he didn't need to commit. You could tell Buckner wasn't too happy with it, and you could tell Padronis knows as well. He cheated with his hands and got penalized for it.
So Mazzoli takes a seat, and the bench pretty happy with his efforts. Justin Fernandez is into the game. First time we've seen him. He's a 6-foot senior for Riordan. He comes into the game with this 19-point Riordan advantage. It's the 19th foul, so 1-and-1 free throws, and Regner makes the first. Regner is a 6-foot, you guessed it, freshman. So many freshmen on this Moreau Catholic team. They've got 7 on the roster, and they all play.
Yeah, and this is invaluable experience for them in the coming years. I mean, you could talk about how good they're going to be in 3 years from now, but they're not a bad squad right now, and should have a pretty good year for themselves.
The other direction, missing the shot, was Padronis, and it's cleared by Riordan, or by Moreau, I should say. And now a steal. And this is Mabry scoring and drawing the foul. So Drew Mabry gets his first points of this quarter, and now he's got a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Regner was looking to get a charge there, but Drew Mabry showed his slick movement and kind of drifted to the right, and Regner moved his feet trying to get the charge and gave the referee an easy call with that block.
Mazzoli back into the game as Roderick Hidalgo takes a seat. So Mabry converts the 3-point play. He's got 8 points. And the lead just keeps getting extended. This is the biggest it's been for Riordan. Trying to get halfway to the century mark before halftime. Tough baseline jumper is good for Brandon Lawrence. He's got 9.
It's another impressive bucket by the freshman Brandon Lawrence. He hasn't had anything easy, but he's done well.
Here's a scoop layup. Nobody picked up Drew Mabry, and Moreau Catholic's defense really letting him down. Mabry, too easy there. 1:27 till halftime, and we've got a whistle. And we're going to get a traveling call. Both officials looked at each other there and took a while before deciding on that call.
Yeah, he got lucky with the travel call because it probably would have been a charge otherwise, another personal foul for Moreau.
46 first half points for Riordan. Team that came into this game averaging 65.8. Long pass up the floor, feeds Mabry. Haynes in the air, does a great job of hanging in the air, allowing his defender to go by, and scores the layup. So that's 7 quick points there for Mabry. He's got 12 in the game. On 3 misses, rebound on the floor, grabbed by Fernandez. And Riordan's got a great chance to get to that 50-point mark before the break. 60 seconds till halftime. This is Fernandez on the baseline, kicking it out. Mazzoli doesn't want a 3. Nice pass. Gilran free throw line, but he shuffled his feet. That's the first turnover, though, for Riordan in this second quarter after they turned it over 5 times in the first.
Yeah, and you can tell right now since the freshman Oscar Freyer went out with foul trouble, it's just killed Moreau. Riordan's been able to attack the glass with
There's a 17-second difference between game clock and shot clock, but wasting no time and not afraid to fire it up is Brandon Lawrence, and he scores the bucket and draws the foul. He's got a chance for a 4-point play.
Yes, he does. Like I said, nothing comes easy for this kid. That was a 3 in the corner with a hand in his face and drew the foul, and he's going to, like you said, he's going to be looking for a 4-point play here. He's an impressive kid.
Only 2 players have scored this quarter for Moreau Catholic, and Lawrence has 10 of their 16 points, although he misses the foul shot.
Like I said, everything comes hard for him, and the easy free throw is tough for him.
That foul, by the way, was on Fernandez, his first. There is a 6-second differential between game clock and shot clock. The game clock is at 26 seconds, shot clock at 20. Riordan jumped out 7-0. They've led ever since. They led by 6 after the first quarter, and they have put 29 points on the board here in the second. Here's 6 on the shot clock. Mabry gets it back. Gets tied up. A tough fadeaway shot misses, but Gilliran puts it up, and they're going to get a shot clock violation as that shot from Mabry did not draw iron, and they get called for the shot clock violation with 5.6 seconds left. So Moreau Catholic will inbound. And this is Lawrence. Lawrence with 1 second gets rivet, but it's a steal. And Riordan will heave it at the buzzer. It'll come up well shy. But what a first half for the Riordan Crusaders, a team that averages 65.8 points per game through their 6-0 start. They've got 48 in the first half, and they lead Moreau Catholic 48-29 at the half. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school basketball action on BayPreps.com. Along with Brian Guiney, I am Pat O'Rourke. Our producer and cameraman is Jerry Gerard as Riordan leads Moreau Catholic 48-29 at the halftime break. And it was Riordan outscoring Moreau 19-13 in the opening quarter, and then really putting a lot of distance between themselves and the Mariners in the second quarter. 29-16 they outscore the Moreau in the second quarter. Now 29 points ties a season high for points in a quarter. It's their second highest total for points in a half. They scored 51 and a half against the first half against Balboa in an 83-38 win over a week ago. But what a performance for the Riordan Crusaders, who had 8 different players in the scoring column. Drew Mabry's got 12, Bobby Arenas with 10, Graham Gilran with 9 points, go along with 4 rebounds, 5 points for Usman Hamid. Christian Hernandez and AJ Padronas each have 4, 2 points for Jade Ubaja and Zach Mazzoli. As for Riordan, Brandon Lawrence leads the way. He scored 10 of his 12 in the second quarter. Ryan Regner scored 6 in that quarter, and that he has 6 in the game. Oscar Freire scored all 6 of his points in the first half, but he had to sit down the last 4 or 5 minutes. Moreau was struggling a little bit with him on the floor, but it made even a bigger difference when he was on the bench with those 3 fouls. 4 points for Armand Simmons and 1 point for Conan True. Moreau's got 14 turnovers compared to 7 for Riordan, and Riordan out-rebounding Moreau 17-12. The Crusaders are also 10 of 12 from the foul line, and Moreau Catholic is 6 of 11. But we saw Moreau get their transition game going, and a lot of easy buckets. I'm sure they're shooting a high percentage from the floor.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they started off a little sloppy. You can see Buckner got on his guys. And but everything started with their defense, put a lot of pressure on the young Moreau guards, got a lot of turnovers. And then they also have a lot of great movement with the ball offensively. They pass the ball around. They're very unselfish and disciplined. See Gillerin got a few head fakes down low, got Freire into foul trouble, and that's when Riordan really took over. But think about Moreau with the young team. That Oscar Freire is a real talent to watch. He was really impressive with his minimum minutes in there before he got in foul trouble. As along with Armand Simmons, he's very quick. He's a really smart kid for a freshman. And then also the number 23, Brandon Lawrence, showed some impressive scoring out there to keep Moreau somewhat in it. They needed to start off well in the second half. Freire's got to stay out of foul trouble, get a couple easy buckets to start, and hopefully they make a game out of this in the second half.
All right, we get ready for the second half to begin. It's going to be Moreau Catholic basketball to start the third quarter. Told you, a young team, as we expected coming in. A lot of freshmen get playing time. In fact, 28 of their 29 points were scored by freshmen in that first half. On the right side, Colin Suarez feeds it down to Freire. Turnaround jump shot is good. Nicely done, as we see Freire immediately getting a scoring column. Hopefully it'll be a while before we see him pick up that 4th foul. He's a fun player to watch, and he gets Moreau on the board to start the third. Pass down low to Christian Hernandez. He gets rid of it to Gilran up top. Swinging around the perimeter. Wide open is Arenas for the 3. He misses, and the rebound is pulled in by Karskadin of Moreau. Free throw line jumper, not an easy shot, but it falls for Armand Simmons, who's got a half dozen. So 4 quick points for the Mariners to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they needed, like I said, they needed that to start the second half, and we have to pick it up defensively.
Arenas feeds Ubaja. He pulls up for the jumper. Misses it. Freire goes up for the rebounds, deflected out of his hands, but it is grabbed by Suarez. And a whistle. And we're going to get our first foul of the half called against Riordan. So a good start to Moreau, good energy to start this third quarter.
Yeah, and that's what they needed to come out. So I'm sure Frank Knight gave him a good talking to at halftime, and they got their starting 5 back in there, and let's see how they do over the next few minutes.
Bounce pass on the far side. Suarez feed it down to Freire. His turnaround shot doesn't go, but he is fouled, and it looked like Gilran got him.
Yeah, that's how they'll have to get back in the game, is get the ball to Freire down low, let him get fouled, put Gilran, maybe Bobby Arenas, put them in foul trouble, and that's the way they have to attack Riordan in the second half.
So here's Freire, who makes the first free throw. He's a 67% foul shooter on the season. Moreau as a team is 62%. We told you Riordan 71% as a team. So 6 unanswered points for the Moreau Catholic Mariners to start the third quarter. On the right side, Gilran pulls up for the jumper. He misses. He's looking to get in double figures. Tip rebound goes to Frayer, who's got 4. 6:23 to play in the third quarter. Little runner by Simmons. Tough shot. Doesn't fall, and Arenas pulls it in. This is Ubaja working against Simmons. Works by Simmons. Haynes in the air. Blocked out there by Frayer. Frayer gets it back. Frayer wants to push. Dribbles through traffic, and he gets fouled.
Yeah, another impressive play by Frayer. I thought maybe he should have looked up the court to his guard, Brandon Lawrence up there. Kind of get the ball up the court a little quicker.
We're going to see a substitution for Riordan. A.J. Padronas comes into the game for Ubaja. Sloppy start for the Crusaders to begin the third quarter after one of maybe their best quarter of basketball of the season in that second quarter where they outscored Moreau 29-16. They're a team that's 6-0, so I haven't seen all those games, so I say that with a little hesitation as a jumper is made by Brandon Lawrence. He's got 14 points. We've got a timeout by the Riordan bench. Great job by the Moreau Catholic Mariners to start this third quarter. 8-0 run to start the quarter. We've played 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the second half, and just like that, they are back in this ball game. Down 19 at the half, once down by 20, are now within 11.
Yeah, that's they need to get back in this game, and their 2 playmakers, Brandon Lawrence and Oscar Frayer, to the fore. Just Frayer inside, and once again, Lawrence displaying his the way he can shoot off the dribble with a hand in his face.
Yeah, they've got 6 of the 8 points in this quarter. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors, Michael Mulry at CNA Equity, also Franklin Canyon Stables. You can go to kimshorsetraining.com to find more information there. And what about Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria? You can order online at Rocco's. Best place to eat in the East Bay at Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria. This is Bobby Arenas with it, working against some pressure of Moreau in the backcourt, but they easily break it. And this is Zach Masoli giving way to Drew Mabry. Mabry's got a dozen, scored 7 in a quick run in the second quarter. Works out of a trap. Mazzoli wide open underneath. He sees Arenas, but threw it too high for him. Arenas tracks it down. Good pressure defense by Moreau. 11 on the shot clock. This is Christian Hernandez going up and missing, but he drew the foul.
Yeah, that's where Riordan gets in trouble. You see Mabry there in the corner. They pick up their dribble, and Moreau is not hesitant at all to get that trap going, trying to force a turnover. They're unlucky not to get one there around the free throw line. So
Christian Hernandez, who has 4 points, goes to the line. And he makes the first. It's his first free throws of this game. He came into the contest averaging 5.3 points and 4.5 rebounds. The foul was on Simmons, his second. Both free throws fall. And Riordan back up to a 13-point lead. That's their first points of the second half. Simmons through traffic, steps inside the lane. Haynes in the air, scores, and draws the foul.
Yeah, Simmons saw everyone else on his team scoring here to start the second half, and he said, I'll take one myself, and took it coast to coast for the nice drive. Layup, got fouled. Now he's going for 3.
Simmons averaging 11.6 points per game. 74% foul shooter, makes it. And Moreau's within 10. Simmons now in double figures. 5:14 to play in the third. This is Mazzoli underneath. And getting fouled is Padronas. Again, a good feed by Mazzoli, who's a very effective passer from that high post area.
Yeah, that's the guy you want the ball in your hands for your Riordan. He's very smart, takes his time, very patient, and finds the open guy. Now Padronas is getting rewarded at the line.
This Riordan team can shoot free throws well, and Padronas is 2 for 2 in this game and 10 for 10 on the season.
Just keeping his streak going here. Made the first one.
Yeah, and this Riordan team 13 of 15 from the line in this game. So 5:06 to go in the third quarter. Riordan back up by a dozen. They've led by as many as 20. The next game is St. Francis versus St. Mary's Stockton. Lawrence feeds it out. Simmons spins his way around inside the lane. Tough scoop shot is good.
Another nice move by Simmons, just taking it to the rack and getting the ball to fall for him. Nice touch laying off the glass.
4:40 to play in the third. Moreau back within 10. This has been a very good third quarter for them. They're outscoring Riordan 13-4 in the quarter. But nice cut along the baseline. Padronas scores the layup.
That's Riordan's game plan right there. Keep the ball moving, players moving, and get easy buckets.
So Riordan up a dozen. Bad pass, stolen away by Mabry. Mabry looking for more points in transition, and he's got 14 in the game as he scores the layup. He's been able to get a lot of those points off of Moreau Catholic turnovers like that one.
Yeah, this is how Moreau's going to have to take care of the ball a little better. This is how Riordan got in their big lead in the first half.
Riordan had a 48-point first half, and they come away with another steal. Here's Mazzoli, great feed underneath. Mabry's got another layup. So a 6-0 run, just as Moreau had cut the lead down to 10. Moreau Catholic does have 42 points on the board. Not too many points have been scored against Riordan this season, in the very young season, as the air ball goes out of bounds to Riordan. In fact, the Crusaders, the most points they've allowed in the game this year was 48, who they allowed to Westmore. A 64-48 win over Westmore, a team that has only one, that was their only loss this season. A team that beat St. Ignatius a few weeks back. Here's Mazzoli getting another nice pass, but he misses the shot and the rebound to Simmons. The ball movement still very good for Riordan, and now a foul on the Crusaders.
Yes, it is. And Simmons, he's got great handles, but he should take a page out of Riordan's book. Instead of trying to dribble through the press, he should pass the ball and keep the ball moving that way. Because that's where Riordan's taking advantage, is getting their turnovers off of careless errors by Moreau.
Yeah, we're seeing the difference in experience clearly in this game as Freyer makes a nice feed to Lawrence, who scores the layup. We're seeing the athleticism, though, and talent on the floor for Moreau as well. Lawrence has 16 points, which leads all Moreau Catholic players. So saying nobody has scored more than 48 in the game against Riordan, and it looks like Moreau's easily going to do that with 3:04 to go in the third quarter. They've got 44, 15 in this quarter. Rich Buckner, the coach at Riordan, standing up right now, watching his team. He is in his 6th season as head coach. And a traveling violation on Riordan. He told Mitch Stevens of the Chronicle that this may be the best team he's had since his first season, when the Crusaders won 21 games and won their last CCS title. It was also Riordan's last winning season. Certainly going to have a winning year this year. And they're going to be a factor in the WCAL. You have to think they're going to be at least finish in the top half of the standings. Although that's a very tough conference as Freyer gets fouled. We're going to get a look at some WCAL teams today, obviously with St. Francis, Sarah, and Mitty all to play. And that foul is going to go against Mazzoli. That's his first, but already 16 fouls on Riordan. It'll be interesting when we see that next game, St. Francis, St. Mary's, Stockton, because St. Francis is one of those teams that Riordan's going to have to contend with when you're talking about kind of the WCAL and which teams, how they line up after Mitty as the jumper misses along the baseline for Lawrence. This is Drew Mabry. Inside the lane, they feed it to Hernandez, who got fouled, and I believe that's going to be Freyer.
Yeah,
that's going to be his 4th.
Yeah, it's complete inexperience by Freyer. That was something he did not need to do, and unfortunately for Moreau and himself, he picked up his 4th personal.
He averages 14.6 per game. He's got 10 in this one, but he's got 4 fouls. He sat out about last 4 minutes or so of the second quarter because he picked up his 3rd, which was an offensive foul. Blocks a shot here despite the 4 fouls, though. And Moreau's got the loose ball. This is Lawrence. Another tough baseline jumper. Likes that spot, but he misses it, and Arenas pulls in the board. Inside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's a 3 in the corner. That is good for A.J. Padronis.
It's a big bucket for Padronis, and there we have Moreau falling into trouble trying to dribble through this Riordan press, and another turnover for him. 17
in the game for the Mariners. Padronis, by the way, now up to 11 points, 7 of them in this quarter. So Riordan's got 3 players in double figures, and they've also got Gilren, who's been sitting at 9.
Looks like Freyer's going to be out the rest of this quarter with the 4th personal, so let's see how Riordan attacks the bucket here for the next minute 30 or so.
Frayer has already blocked about 3 or 4 shots in this game for the Mariners. Thinking about the 3 was Padrones. Now it's Mabry with 18 on the shot clock, stepping in for the long 2, missing it badly. Lawrence wants to start the break, feeds Simmons. Simmons goes up, and a travel.
Yeah, Simmons kind of caught the ball mid-step there and was kind of in between on his way to the hoop and picked up the travel. Unfortunate for him and Moreau.
So 1:15 to play in the third quarter. And the Riordan Crusaders jumped out 7-0 and have led ever since. Particularly awesome offensive display today, although just as I say that, Arenas shuffled his feet.
Yeah, that was this is another travel there. The game's getting a little sloppy here the last minute. I'm sure both coaches are going to have a little talk to the players at the quarter.
Less than a minute to go till halftime. Here's a 3 that it drops for Ryan Regner, who's got 9, another freshman for Moreau. He cuts the lead down to 14. Moreau's still not out of this game.
No, not all. That was a big 3 for him right there. The defensive stop will be huge here.
The 3-pointer, though, was buried by Padrones, who seems like he just doesn't miss.
Padrones is having a big quarter and really that was a dagger in Moreau right there.
10 of his 14 in the quarter as Simmons tries to scoop in the layup. Nearly got called for the charge. The rebound with 20 seconds to Mabry. Riordan wants the last shot here, up by 17. It's kicked out of bounds off of Moreau with 12 seconds. And Colin Suarez, a senior, comes into the game for Simmons. Suarez is the only senior we'll see play for Moreau Catholic. He averages 7.4 a game. So 10 seconds, this is Mabry in the backcourt. Mabry steps inside the lane, kicks out for another 3 by Padrones. He's got it again. What a quarter for Padrones. There's the buzzer. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, Moreau stretches their lead by a point Riordan stretches their lead by a point up to 20. It's 67-4. Riordan ball going to the fourth quarter, and what a third quarter for A.J. Padrones. 13 points in that quarter.
Yeah, and those 2 threes the last minute there right before the quarter just killed Moreau and put that 20-point advantage going into the fourth.
It's a guy that averages 5.7 per game, and he's got 17 as the layup is there for Mazzoli. Mazzoli's got 4. Riordan's up to a 22-point lead, but an answer for Colin Suarez, his first points. This Riordan team is already very tough. They're going to go to 7-0 if they win this game. And they're going to get all those transfers back in early January. We've got another 3-point try and Barry for Padrones, and he gets fouled. That's his spot.
Yeah, Padrones is feeling it. He was just screaming for that ball there. Moreau's not getting a guy out on him, and he's just nailing down the open 3.
He's made 4 in a row of threes, that is. And he had 4 made threes through 6 games coming into today. He was 4 of 12 on the season coming into today. He's also 4 of 4 from the line, but he misses the free throw. So there is something he does miss as True grabs the rebound. 23-point Riordan lead. But what a day for Padrones. And really needed him in that third quarter, that boost, because the rest of the Crusaders weren't stepping up too big in the offensive department that quarter as Moreau tried to mount a comeback. This is Nick Canas in the game. We saw talk about Mazzoli for Riordan, a quarterback on their football team. Nick Canas, number 11 for Moreau Catholic, is a football quarterback. As we see Gilran come into the game, he really didn't play much at all in that third quarter for Riordan.
No, they didn't need him with it the way A.J. Padrones was shooting the ball.
And the free throw is good for Lawrence, who's got 17 points. That leads Moreau players. 6'1" freshman came in averaging 8.3 points per game. Moreau's season high point total was 83, and that was that game against Balboa. 51 points that Moreau Catholic has is the most points allowed by Riordan this year. Yeah. Before that, it was the 48 we told you against Westmore. Another open three, Padronis. The rebound goes to True. Freyer wants the three the other direction. He misses it short. Arenas has his 5th board. The second of 6 games today at the Catholic School Winter Classic. St. Francis versus St. Mary's Stockton is the next one we'll have for you. The final game today, Midi and Salesian. Definitely want to be here for that one. And if you can't, we'll have it for you here on BayPreps.com as a traveling violation on Padronis, who is proving that he is human in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, he's feeling it. He just wants the ball. He gets the ball. He's going. The ball's going up. He's either taking him for a layup or he's firing up a 3.
He's going to now come out of the game as Jude Ubaja checks in the contest, and he gets a nice hand from the Riordan faithful. 6:10 to play. This is Canast. And getting fouled is Freyer, as Mazzoli was reaching in. You look at these games today in the WCAL competition, favored, you would think, I said at the start, Riordan would be favored in this game, and St. Francis will take on St. Mary's Stockton, and they're favored in that game as a free throw misses by Freyer. And Sarah going up against a good St. Joe's team, but you expect them to win that contest, although that could be a very good game. And then Midi and Salesian, which is the most contested battle of the evening. That if you had to give a favorite, maybe you'd say Midi, but that's 2 very evenly matched teams, it appears. As there's a steal by Freyer. He's going to take it in the front court. Freyer wants another dunk, but he missed it.
Yeah, he got a little greedy there. Should just laid it in, got his 2 points.
5:23 to go in the game. Down to Gilren, and Gilren's got a layup, and now he's in double figures. The 4th player to get in double figures for Riordan. Nicely done by Ryan Regner. He's in double figures of 11. Tempo has really picked up early on in this game and has stayed consistent throughout. Riordan seems to be able to do what they want offensively, but they turn it over to Colin Suarez. And now an open 3-point look. Misses by Regner. Gilran has his 5th board. And a foul as Canast knocks it away. You're going to see a couple of Moreau players come into the game. Edgar Surya, who we haven't seen. Tyler Klingenbeck, another guy we haven't seen. Sophomore is Klingenbeck, Surya a senior. Ubaja kicks out Mazzoli. And we're going to have a 3-second violation on Riordan. They can move the ball around. That's one thing that I guess is one of the negatives when you move the ball around. Sometimes a guy gets caught in the key for that 3-second violation.
Exactly. In this game, there hasn't been too many 3-second calls because ball's been going up quick.
Yeah. Here's Canast working against Hernandez. Now this is Freyer with 4:11 to go. Freyer hangs in the air, misses it short. The tip rebound goes to Ubaja. Today Ubaja is the third leading scorer in this team, but only 2 points. They haven't needed a scoring too much. He feeds Gilran along the baseline. He'll kick it out to Mabry. Mabry wants the 3, and he'll bury it. Mabry up to 19 points. .59 senior. As Gilran pulls it in. The rebound for Riordan. Game's leading scorer is Padronis with 20, 16 of those in the second half.
Yeah, Riordan's taking the air out of the ball now. This
nice bounce pass underneath, but Mazzoli can't convert the layup. Canas falls as he came away with the loose ball, but grabs it back. And he does get it to Lawrence, who missed the layup, but a foul on the rebound on Riordan.
It's like Riordan's going to empty the bench right now and get their guys who don't get too much run are going to head in and close this game out for them.
Yeah, Robert Valencia, 6'6 junior. Ryan Hickey, a 6'4 senior. Roderick Hidalgo, we saw briefly in the first half, 5'8 senior. Justin Fernandez, a 6' senior. And Mark Mulligan, a 6'1 senior, are all going to come into the game for Riordan. So they bring in 5 new guys. They clear out the bench with 3:05 to go. Brandon Lawrence looking for his 20th point. Converts.
That'll be Lawrence for the day. Looks like he had an impressive effort today for Moreau, though. Hit some big shots for him. Kind of kept him in the game there in the first half and the third quarter.
It'll be fun to watch him, Frayer, and Simmons the next 3 years for Moreau as we got a traveling violation on Riordan. Again, Riordan's season high point total is 83. They scored against Balboa. Nick Canast wants a 3. The long rebound out to Mulligan. Mulligan wants to push. Mulligan's shot misses. A tip rebound out towards the 3-point line. The jumper for Ryan Hickey off the mark. Mulligan's got a chance underneath. He can't convert. Surya brings it in the front court for Moreau. Shot misses by Klingenbeck. Have to look down to the roster quite a bit here to point out some of the players on the floor. We've got a lot of new faces out there we haven't seen in this game as Mulligan's wide open for 3.
Mulligan came in, looked like Deshaun Goldson there with a little forearm to Moreau kid.
No fines
No.
will be instituted for that, though.
Hopefully not.
So Surya goes to the free throw line. Chance for the senior to get in the scoring column. 2:13 to go in this game. Riordan jumped out 7-0. They led 19-13 after one quarter, 48-29 at the half. Each had 2. Moreau Catholic led by 20 points from Brandon Lawrence, 11 for Armand Simmons and Ryan Regner. Oscar Frayer scores 10, 5 points for Edgar Surya, 2 points for Colin Suarez, and 1 point for Conan True, Tyler Klingenbeck, and Zayal Gua. From the free throw line, Moreau was 18 of 27. Riordan was 14.